So as you can see behind me, I have a fully built M4 Competition 2018. We're gonna go through everything that I've done to it, starting on the outside, then going to the engine, all of the performance parts, and everything else that I have currently planned. There's not much else planned because I've already done almost everything, but we're gonna go over all that in this video. So starting from the front, the first thing that you're gonna notice is all this carbon. Up here, we've got carbon fiber grills, then we've got the carbon fiber lip, we've got carbon fiber fangs, they call them, which I don't really know why they call them fangs, but they're fangs. And then we have this little insert is here. All of those parts are from Sencal Motorsport. All of the carbon on this car, except the back wing, which you guys will see in a minute, is all from Sencal. Their stuff is great. Next thing that we've got, we're not going to waste much time here. We're going to go through things pretty quickly because once we get to the performance stuff, I'm going to explain why I did it. Obviously, the carbon fiber stuff, just for looks. But then we've got the headlights. These headlights are RGBs, so I can change these to any color. Let me show you guys an example of that now. So I can make them blue, I can make them red, green, blue, white. I can make them pretty much any color that I want to, which is actually really cool. I usually leave them on this color because it's kind of amber-ish. It looks more red in person, but for some reason on specifically iPhone cameras, this picks up more as the amber color, but pretty cool. Let's address the elephant in the room, the Need for Speed wrap. So this wrap is based on the M3 GTR from Need for Speed. Hopefully some of you guys recognize that. So especially if you walk on over to the side here, we have the infamous swoops here. I don't exactly know what to call them, but this is the car that is the main character's car, Need for Speed Most Wanted. So we based it off of that. You know, obviously the colors are a little bit different, but that's what we went with. It fits the personality of the car a lot, and I personally really like it. Seems like a lot of people that are actually into cars really enjoy it. Keyboard warriors, on the other hand, always have something to say. And then we do have the good old side skirts here, also from Sencal Motorsport. All of that is carbon. Coming to the back, oh, I always forget that I have these taillights until I look at them. These are the CS style taillights. Really, really like these things. This made the whole back end of the car look way more aggressive, and it really ties in with the next thing that we'll talk about. If you come down here, we'll address the big wing in a second. If you come down here, this is a third brake light, also known as a rain light or F1 light, whatever you want to call it, or I guess technically fourth brake light in this case. We do have a carbon fiber diffuser here as well. BMWs like to do that from time to time as well. So that actually just happens on these. There's no sensor anywhere. The tailgate just likes to lift off. If you guys have an F80 or an F30, you guys know what I'm talking about. It literally just happens. Yeah, so we got the diffuser here. If you guys did see, this did pull off on the first meet of the year. So up underneath here, you guys won't be able to see it now because it is pretty low to the ground. Not lowered or anything, but it did kind of rip off and get a lot of air underneath it. But that's fine. We do have the stock muffler, which, hold on, let me explain. We just wanted the valves. We have a full exhaust we'll get to in a second. But yeah, I think that wraps everything up on the back. Except the big wing. So this is another little bit of a controversial thing on this car for people. Some people, I thought when they were first originally saying that it's too small, that they were joking. And from the right angles on the car, it does kind of look like it should be a little bit bigger, but this is the GTS style wing from Souvenir Carbon. The carbon fiber itself, if you come up here and show it, is very high quality. Like the quality of this carbon fiber is spot on. I do just wish that it was a little bit wider, and I don't think that that's Souvenir's fault or anyone's fault. I just think that that is purely how the GTS style wing is. So I think that covers everything on the outside. We're gonna go ahead and shut that. But yeah, this is the competition pack. You can tell that it's a competition on the F chassis by the black emblems. People don't really know that. Behind us is a G80, and on the G80, you do still get the black emblems, but it does say competition. So people always think that I'm lying about this being a competition, but we do have, oh, I did forget another piece of carbon that we have. So obviously this roof is actual real carbon fiber from BMW. That's a competition thing, but we do have a carbon fiber antenna cover as well. I don't remember who that's from, but it's from someone. So now let's go ahead, walk over here, and we'll pop the hood. So it's a double pull, and we will get to the interior in a second here. It's got the full carbon pack. This car pretty much has every option that you could have had when this car came out. So that's pretty cool. No carbon buckets on the F chassis though, but we do have the buckets technically. They are the bucket seats of this year. So let's go ahead and talk about this next. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open the hood here. And you guys see a lot of titanium, but one last thing that I did forget to show on the outside is these carbon ceramic brakes. We do have the carbon ceramic brake package on this. You can tell because of the way that it is. No, it's really because of, yeah, it's really just because of the gold caliper, and you can kind of see all the crackings and everything in that rotor there. That's how you know it's a carbon ceramic, and trust me, you'll know if you drive one with carbon ceramics, you'll know right away. This car, like I said, has like pretty much every option that you could have got in 2018 for the M4 comp. So that's pretty cool. But let's talk about the stuff that I've done to it now. So on this chassis, actually, this carbon fiber brace here is actually stock. Unlike the G80s, I don't know why they didn't do this on the G80s. They should have. This came fully carbon stock on even, I believe, just the M4 base. I don't think you even needed the comp to get this technically. But let's get to the stuff that I added, because I'm sure that's why most of you guys are here. We're to the performance stuff now, and we're going to start as we did on the outside of the car. Technically still on the outside, we got the front mount intakes. Now, I'm a little on the fence about these right now, because as you guys probably know if you're watching this video, the front mount intakes, they don't love it. There's a lot of check engine light issues with anyone who runs front mounts on these, and I thought that I would be special and have it not happen to me, but it's happening to me. It didn't happen for the first like 300 or 400 miles of the front mounts, but after that, I'm having a little bit of a check engine light issue. It's not a performance issue. Nothing's wrong. The car just doesn't love the mass airflow sensors coming from these. So I'm going to try to get that dialed in with a custom tune. If I can't, then we'll go ahead and get a different intake system. But they look beautiful. So these front mounts are titanium, and they're from Sencal Motorsport. I guess I have a lot of Sencal parts on this car. So yeah, this is them. They look beautiful. I'm not going to touch it because your fingerprints will forever be in them if you do. And then up here, we do have also titanium charge pipes, and you guys won't be able to see it, but we do have, maybe from the right angle, but not really. We have a titanium J pipe in there as well. And then the big thing on top, this was actually a huge performance boost. This is the Turner X Mishimoto intercooler. This made temperatures and the speed of the car through whole poles so much faster because there's a lot less heat soaking, especially mid-pole. A lot of people don't think that mid-pole heat matters. They think always back-to-back poles. Like, yeah, your second pole might not be as good as your first, but that being said, within that first pole, if you guys are getting heat soaked a little bit, or the hot air is coming in more instead of colder air, then your pole's going to be slower. It's not just the next pole. So this helped a lot by that. The 60 to 130 time on this car went down by like 0.3 just from having this. And then we do have this cover off. That was unintentional. When I did the down pipes, which we'll get to in a second, you have to take off the charge pipe and intake and all that. And I kind of forgot to put this cover back on. There's two covers. There's one cover that goes over top of the spark plugs and all that. And then there's another M cover, which the M cover will be going on. We just need to do a little bit of modifying to that. So next thing is going to be the exhaust system. And I don't have the cap shirt on right now, but Canadian Auto Performance is the downpipes that I went with on this. They are amazing. They are, so yeah, we got cap downpipes on this. I'll go ahead, get a little startup right now, a little bit of revs, and then we'll go over exactly what they are. Okay, so this is Hunter from the future, but I forgot to mention while I was naming the performance mods under the engine bay, the crank hub is also done. So if you guys know, the S55, you have to do the crank hub on these or else your engine goes kaboom if you push any power over comp. So yeah, I got that.
Let that be a lesson though to anybody watching.
Yeah.
If you have to ask if you think you should do your crank hub, you do your crank hub.
Yeah, if you have an S55, do the crank hub. Do not touch anything until you do that. Seriously, do not even throw on an intake without getting the crank hub done. You don't want to have a popped engine because of something that you, honestly, if you're buying an S55 or an M4, M3, F80, F82, if you plan on buying it, plan on doing the crank hub unless you know 100% you're keeping it stock. Just add that to the cost of the car. That's kind of how I bought this. I knew that I would be having to do it, and it's not a cheap job. But luckily, there's somebody local to me. Yeah, shout out LA Rose at Rose Motorsport. He's local to me, and I actually used to go to college with him, so it's kind of funny. He did the crank hub in this. Perfect. I've had no issues with it. guys can probably tell, it's not just downpipes. We also do have it is the VRSF full exhaust. It's a single mid pipe to the stock muffler. So from the downpipes, it goes into a single pipe that's really thick. That carries on, and then it splits off into two pretty big pipes as well for the stock mufflers. The reason we kept the stock mufflers is valved exhaust for this, as you guys know, are not cheap, and that's the best way to just kind of keep the valves without paying an extra like $1,500 for honestly almost no reason. The stock mufflers on this are perfectly fine. They're plenty loud, and I think that valve opens all the way up with the MHD tune that I have as well, so it's not just like stuck halfway closed. So if you guys do want to save a lot of money, if you're building one of these, that's a great way to do it, because everyone knows you're going to get the downpipes, go catless. Yeah, and then VRSF alone, their prices are amazing, and I've had on my other cars only AWE exhaust. So I have the M340 with AWE and my S5 with AWE, and after getting VRSF, I probably won't go with AWE ever again. Just the install process on this was so much easier, and everything fit up a little bit better. I'm not saying that AWE is bad. This is just a little bit higher quality if you guys can. Honestly, I think that it's cheaper than AWE as well. So if you want to save money, have it install better and fit a little bit better, then this is the way, and be a little different. Everybody just runs AWE on like every car. So if you want to be a little different and save some money, cheaper doesn't always mean worse, especially if you go with VRSF. I do have a VRSF downpipe actually on my M340 now I'm thinking about it. Alright, so that is all of the stuff that I have currently done to this car. Now let's go over a little bit of the plans, starting with the wheel area. So these tires are terrible. They're from 22, they're Michelin Super Sports, kind of an old tire design. These spin even on stock power up to like 90. So now that I'm Stage 2 Plus, oh, I did forget. We are tuned with MHD. Stage 2 Plus is what we're running, a 93 tune. Forgot to say that. I did run a 9.19 60 to 130 with an extra like 120 pounds in the car, and these terrible tires. So yeah, these are not great. So we're going to be getting better tires on here. And then one huge thing that you want to do is when you do have carbon ceramics, you want to make sure that you always keep new brake pads on. You don't really need to replace the rotors as long as you keep good pads on it. If the pads start going and wear into the rotors, you're going to be down about 10 grand. And then one of the last things that needs done on this car is a custom tune. And then if we come on the inside, there's a couple things I'll show you that we're going to change out there too. Alright, so as we step inside here, go ahead and turn off these lights so that's not yelling at us the whole time. If you look on the door, everything is leather. I think that I might have mentioned it, but this does have the entire leather pack. So the whole dash, pretty much everything in here is leather. The steering wheel is aftermarket. I bought the car with this, so I can't really tell you guys which one it is, but the quality is amazing. Everything's holding up just fine. The colored stitching on it is holding up, and I really haven't done too much cleaning maintenance to this, and it's pretty good. Obviously this is a little shiny, so it might need cleaned, but everything else is holding up good. If you guys do know what wheel this is, put it in the comments so that I know what I have, because I have no idea. Carbon fiber up here. It is not the CS or anything, so we don't get the Alcantara up here, but we do get the carbon fiber on here. And then the couple things that we are changing, this interior doesn't need much changed, luckily, because it does have that leather pack. With all this stuff being plastic, that changes it, so luckily I don't have to do anything with that. But we are getting the Alcantara and carbon fiber shifter on here. I do already have it. I ordered that stuff from Bimmer Plug. But yeah, this will be all carbon fiber here, and then this, and I believe this will all be Alcantara. Same with the shifter. This will all be carbon, and then down here will be Alcantara as well. And then this, make it easier for you guys to see, this armrest will also be Alcantara with red, white, and blue stitching. Everything will have red, white, and blue stitching. So the shifter, or no, sorry, not the shifter, the e-brake cable will have the stitching that matches this, and the this is another way you can tell it's a comp. Red, white, and, well, red, blue, and blue stitching on there. Technically red, blue, and blue on all this. And yeah, Alcantara, blue stitching, red, blue, and blue stitching. And I think that is the entire build. Alright, so that is, like I said, the entire build of this car. Those are the parts that I have. I did not have the cost of it in this video, but if you guys do want to see a cost breakdown of not only the build of this. Oh my god, I forgot a huge thing. Okay, so now we're back to the present now. If you guys do want to see the breakdown of the cost of all of the mods, all of the performance mods, I could break it down in a few different ways into performance, visual, and maintenance, because we all know BMWs are very expensive in maintenance. Luckily, I save a lot because I do it myself. But you would still be able to see all the cost breakdowns. If you guys do want to see that, definitely put that over in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and you like the build, or you dislike a couple things, or have some recommendations for others, unless it's a wrap, I don't want to hear it, definitely drop a like, subscribe. See you guys in the next one.